Well, hello, or welcome to another Wellness Wednesday with Michelle. I'm Michelle Hart, nutrition and detox specialist. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to incorporate fitness for weight loss and wellness. Okay, this is part of the 4-part series of having a fresh start for 2022. Hi, Rona. See, right now, what I do is Rona is on the call. So I call Rona so that she's part of this these Zoom calls. So she can't get to a computer. So she is so adamant about making changes that even though she can't have a computer and watch the Zoom, she can listen in on the call. And so I actually call her and she listens in and she gives some good feedback. So I want to actually congratulate Rona for being such a rock star. What's that? What'd you say? Sorry, what?
I said, what for?
Oh, for taking the time to do some training on something that you're interested in, which is getting into the best shape and health of your life. So I'm really proud of you for doing that. And even though, like I said, even though you don't have a computer, you're still going to listen in and you're still getting the material that way. So way to go. You're a rock star. That's what I mean by rock star. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to share with you actually step number 6 of a 9-step plan that I've created to help you burn fat, build muscle, look and feel 10 years younger. So you're actually going to get the training that I give to my personal clients on how to burn fat and build muscle. Because really, when we talk about fitness for weight loss, we're actually really thinking about fitness for fat burning and toning your muscle. The weight will take care of itself. Okay, so I don't want you to kind of focus so much on the weight on the scale. Scale weight it's incomplete. It's not really going to give you the data that you need to see if you're moving forward or not. Because if you think about it, muscle weighs more than fat. And so the key for your success to having wellness and this so-called weight loss is actually to burn fat and build the muscle to get the tone. Okay, and that's what's going to turn it all around for you. But I'm actually going to share with you how to do that, and in a simple way. So what to do and what not to do. Okay, because we also need to know what not to do, because here's the thing, we don't want to waste our time. It's 2022 and we want to make the best of 2022. And I know when you're watching this, you are going to make this the best year so far, better than 2021, to improve your fitness and your wellness. So let me get started. So on to the next slide. So I really want you to imagine right now, if you had like the simplest workout plan in the planet that you can do in a short amount of time that will make you look like a Hollywood supermodel all year round. That's exactly what you're going to learn today. How cool is that? Okay. But I do want to share that this workout struggles, like I know that there's 3 main struggles that most women make when trying to get better results from their fitness. Okay. And I'm going to share with you the ones that I see happening time and time again. The first one is they actually don't have a lot of time to work out. So then they don't start. Well, if you don't start, you'll never get results. So it is a myth. You don't need a lot of time. That's the key. So don't ever think about, I don't have enough time, to let that stop you moving forward with your fitness and your wellness goals. And the other thing is, if you don't have a lot of time, quite often other things get in the way. And even if you do start, don't you find that you kind of like fall off track? Because here's the thing, if you're a woman, you're likely somebody who wants to take care of everybody else. And it's probably difficult, I'm just guessing, for you to take care of yourself. We're not built that way. We're built to nurture others and make sure they're all taken care of. So we need to kind of change that narrative and that way of thinking and go, well, I can take care of them. If I take care of myself first, then I'm actually better to take care of them. So maybe that's a way to think about it. And contrary to popular belief, you don't need an hour a day to get results. In fact, you need less time than that. And quite often, I get this like a lot. I do. I walk around and a lot of people kind of notice the body shape that I have because it is a little different at my age, at any age really. And they say, "Oh, gosh, you must work out a lot." It looks like I do, but I don't. And it's really about your workout needs to be done right for you to get the results. Because if done wrong, yeah, it'll take you an hour doing it wrong, and you're wasting your time and you're likely not really moving ahead. And if that sounds like you're working out, say, an hour a day thinking you do, and you're not getting results, well, we really need to change up your program to make sure that you are getting results, because there is a different way to work out so that you can. Okay. And I'm going to share with that what that is today. So the second struggle I see women make when trying to get results from their workouts is, well, they're doing the wrong exercise. And the wrong exercise typically is, oh, I need to lose weight, so I need to do cardio. That's the common way that we've been programmed to lose weight. Oh, I'll just run more, or I'll just go for a longer walk, or I'll just run on the treadmill, and then I'll burn off, like I'll burn more calories so that I could, lose weight. Well, that is also that is a failing approach. Okay, because really, how is that working for you? Okay, quite often what happens is, yeah, you will, burn more calories technically while you are working out, doing your long-standing cardio. You will, but at the same time, over the course of the rest of the day, so that's like, say, 30 minutes out of a 24-hour period, you're burning more calories. But the problem with that is you're burning more calories, but you're also burning muscle mass. And that is the golden goose. That is the key. That is the foundation. Your muscle is the foundation for you to burn the fat and lose weight, really, and keep it off for life. Without any struggle, is you want to get that muscle up, because it's your metabolic engine. So you actually require more, you burn more calories at rest if you have more muscle on your body. And so while the 30 minutes of cardio is burning more calories at that exact moment, the rest of the day, you're actually burning less calories because you've muscle wasted. You've taken away from your golden goose. It's getting smaller. And so it's going to keep it, you won't be able to eat very much food after some time because your metabolism has gone down because your muscle's gone down. But on the other side of this, if you were to do different types of exercises, which you're going to learn a lot about resistance training, if you actually begin resistance training to build the muscle for that 30 minutes, you swap out the cardio for the muscle building. For the rest of the day, because you've set up the stage to build more muscle, you're going to burn more calories for 24 hours instead of 30 minutes. Like, doesn't that make sense? And doesn't it make sense then to maybe think about changing your workout? So this actually was very important for me when I had a very accelerated aging disease called osteoporosis when I was very young. And I was breaking my body down because I was doing the wrong kind of exercise. I was doing cardio instead of working out with weights. And what happened was I started to break down my body and I started to become a skinny fat. Yeah, I lost weight, but I was a skinny fat. And so I wasn't actually able to eat very much food without gaining more weight. And it was all around my middle. And it wasn't until I realized that, oh my gosh, we have to do the opposite of what we're taught. We don't want to do this chronic cardio. We want to get into weight training. As soon as I flipped that around and started to eat differently, my bones started to build. I was able to get that beautiful shape and I could eat more food without gaining weight. And this is one of the keys to looking good all year round and being able to eat kind of pretty much as you want. Okay. Because you're not going to overeat. Anyways, let's go to the third workout struggle. So the third struggle that I see women make when trying to get results from their workouts is they start really excited. Like January 1st, we have these goals. We get really excited and motivated with these. I'm going to, work out every day, and I'm going to eat really clean, and I'm going to drink more water, and I'm going to give up alcohol and all these things, like so many things you plan on doing to get your result because you're really excited because everything's ramped up for that. It's just how society is, right? And then what happens is these goals that the workouts that we create and all these different changes, there's too many changes to make for that one goal. And it should get too overwhelming because other things get put aside, and over time, it doesn't, your life isn't balanced because you've got too many things on the go. And so it's just not sustainable, and you quit you likely quit. Things start to come in the way. Oh, all these things you started neglecting that you were doing before because you're working out more and all these changes, it starts to pile up, and you go, oh, okay, you know what? I really do need to take a look at, some things what about your relationships? Maybe you're spending way less time with your relationships and way more time with all these changes that it starts to, you start to notice that you're not really connected with those people that you love. And so then you start to feel bad. Oh my gosh, I am being selfish. I'm doing all these things for myself, and now I'm neglecting this, and they're wondering where I am. And so you haven't reinvented yourself yet because it takes time. And so you go back to old habits and old ways. Does that sound familiar, if I can say that word? And if anyone here is on the call and they'd like to kind of chime in with some questions or anything or comments, please feel free to do that. Even you, Rona, if you have a question, you can, or a comment to what I'm saying, feel free to kind of chime into how you're feeling about my conversation here and some of these struggles that women have when trying to get results from working out. So this particular one is they do too many things to try and get their goal, and then they give up. Okay. It really needs to be so much more simple and with less time. That's kind of where we need to go with this. Plus, the other thing is, I have to kind of course correct a little bit here, is we're also told to do certain workouts that we don't even like. And here you're trying to like this workout because it's going to give you the result, which is weight loss and wellness, but you don't like it. Well, how long is that going to last? Not very long. And then you're like, oh, I failed again. Okay, well, let's find workouts that we like, because if you like it, then you're more apt to do it. So the best workout is the one that you like. Okay, I'm going to show you some strategies today that you're going to learn that will get you result, but really it's, do you like it? Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you one simple way that you will be able to the fitness that you'll be able to do to lose weight and create that wellness that you're looking for. And that is the number one thing we need to do to give you the fastest results in the least amount of time. It is resistance training. It's 100% resistance training. And there's actually a book out called Resistance Training Revolution, because we are finding out so many benefits of resistance training that we never knew before. What is resistance training? Weight training, or strength training, or resistance training. They're all kind of the same way to say it. So we really need to incorporate some of this resistance training. And, when I say that, it may conjure up, oh my God, I don't want to lift weights. Well, really, it's just creating resistance. You can have resistance training by just swimming. You can have resistance training by doing some form of yoga. You can do resistance training by doing isometric exercise, whatever it is to stimulate the muscle to grow. Okay. Cardio doesn't do that. Cardio does the opposite. It's actually muscle wasting. So we need to flip it around and think about ways that we can do some resistance training. I mean, really the easiest way is lifting weights. And I know a lot of the gyms are closed. So many people come to me and they're just frustrated because here they started to get into a workout routine at the gym, and the gym's closed because of all these other variants that are coming out. Well, we don't want that to stop us. We need to think outside the box. And so what we're going to want to do then is either pick up, create your own gym, create your own, your area that you feel good walking in, and your place where you can lift your weights, your special spot. It may take a bit of time to do that, but at the same time, it's something you're going to want to have for the long term, because these gyms will open and close, open and close. Why don't you create your own special space in your room, in your house, I don't care where, but a special space, maybe in your garage. Maybe convert a garage that had stuff in there that you've never used, get it out and make a gym out of it. And it may seem overwhelming, but at the same time, just one step at a time. I'm sure you can Google how to create a gym from a garage. Like a lot of people have done that. Or even I know of someone who converted their laundry room to a gym, because really you don't even have to have much space. You just need to have a few pieces of equipment and you can do a full body workout. You can Google all this. For my personal clients, they actually get they know exactly how to work out because they get the workout videos, instructional videos on how to work out. So if anyone here is interested in a full body workout that they can do at home within 30 minutes, just a 30-minute workout, which is designed to actually make you look like you're beach body ready or on stage. Like that's how profound, like that's how well this program is scripted out, is the way that it's designed will do exactly what you want, which is aesthetically pleasing. You're going to look just like stunning and you'll be so proud of the work you put into it. And it doesn't even take very long, 30 minutes, 2-3 times a week. That's really all you have to do to have this gorgeous body and be able to eat more food. Okay. And not gain weight. So you don't feel guilty at all. That's the other thing, is that's going to set you back. So all these benefits to doing some resistance training 2-3 times a week, just 30 minutes. You don't need that 1 hour. That's too long. And who has that hour? Okay, so I'm just going to share with you these 7 surprising benefits for doing resistance training, because it's not just about aesthetically pleasing. It's far reaching to the benefits. Okay, but the first benefit really is fat loss. You are going to burn fat, and you're burning fat because you are building muscle. Actually, that's why you're burning fat, because you're raising metabolism. That's how you're able to do the fat loss, is because you won't be gaining weight anymore. You won't be gaining fat. You'll actually be losing fat because you're building the muscle to be able to burn the fat. That's how you burn the fat. Okay. And when we do that, it's actually the easiest way, because it stays off. That fat that you've burnt doesn't go back on, because you've got this consistency of this resistance training, 30 minutes, 2-3 times a week. You won't be gaining this fat because the body has built the muscle. So it is the easiest way to lose fat for life. This is not a quick fix. This is a quick fix, but a long-term result as well. Okay, you will start to burn fat, but you will keep it off also. Now, don't you want that? If you're somebody who is like yo-yoing, this will stop yo-yoing. Like right there, resistance training. Okay, it's one of the best things you can do. So the second benefit of resistance training is your muscles will look toned. And when we say tone, it really does mean like firm. So your muscles they're not going to be flabby. So if you have that flab underneath the like tricep, which is very common as we age, a flab like below the buttocks, we've got that flab there. The love handles, that's kind of the flab that we see. Where else do we see flab? Where else do I see? Oh, around the belly, these kind of things. They'll go away. You won't get the flab. You'll get it toned. So what will happen is when you do your resistance training and you're sending the signal to build the muscle, when you look, that flab will go away. It's actually going to be like solid. It's going to look like a shape. It's going to have that gorgeous shape. Okay, so that's where your tone comes in, is the firming of the muscle. Okay, so the third surprising benefit of resistance training is you will see and feel a vast increase in energy. This is like 10 times. And there's many reasons for that. First of all, when you're asking the body to exercise, then you're asking the body to create more energy too. Okay, and it's because the circulation starts to go, you start to move the nutrition around the body, and we start to bring the circulation in the brain, and you actually have more energy by doing that. Okay, it's like a cause and effect thing. So the other thing is you are making more of these cells called mitochondria, and these are not human cells. You have these other cells in your body that aren't human. They're actually bacteria. And when you do resistance training, you're asking the body to make more of these mitochondria to create more energy, because it's like a cause and effect. Oh, the body thinks, oh, I need to lift weights, or I need to lift my body. Oh, well, I better make more of these mitochondria to be able to do that. Okay, because it's your body's adapting to what it's doing. So if you sat all day or you slept all day, it will adapt and lower your energy because it thinks that it's trying to heal. But when you are moving around and doing resistance training, you're making more of these cells to create more energy. Now, who wants more energy? I know that's one of the things that I strive to do with my plans, so that we have energy. And when you have energy, doesn't your mood go up? Aren't you happier when you have more energy? Okay, isn't life awesome when you have more energy? And then think of the opposite. Like, how does it feel if you have low energy? Like, how does it feel when you're around people and your energy is low? Like, are you fun to be around? We've got to think about these things. How's life when you have low energy? How motivated are you? Are you motivated to work on your project? Are you motivated to, call your loved ones? Are you even motivated to do any kind of exercise? So it's a downward spiral. So, but when you just take the first step, which is just start, you will see a vast increase in energy and everything else gets better. Okay. The fourth surprising benefit of resistance training is brain performance. Your brain turns on and you're actually improving your cognition. So you can think better, you can think faster, you can retain memory, there's no lapse in your conversation, because you're thinking much better and you're remembering things, which is also going to help the quality of your life, especially when you get older. So it's going to increase brain performance. Okay. And then there was actually the study that was done with students, and what they found was they had two sets of students, and one set of students, they had drive to school and start their lessons, and this other set of students walked to school 30 minutes and started their lessons, and then they did exams after. And what they found was, and this is probably not very startling, the ones that actually walked to school and did the lesson and did the exam did better, remarkably better in their schoolwork and their exams than the ones that were driven to school. And if you think about this, doesn't that make sense? If you're exercising and you're moving and you're walking, all that circulation gets through the blood-brain barrier into your brain, and you can actually think better, right? Well, that's going to set the stage for a better brain. Okay. The fifth surprising benefit of resistance training is we have a positive mood, which is really good because people want to be around us then. We want to be around them. And isn't life better? Okay. There is so much depression. There's suicide, which is really sad. There's mental illness. All these things can really be remedied by just doing resistance training. Really, that's what this one book was about, Resistance Training Revolution, is we're actually changing how we're living. Okay. Because what we're doing isn't working. 88% of the population is obese. They're overweight, getting to be obese. And we're not moving enough, and we're doing the wrong thing. So this book is actually going to change how we live and get back to lifting heavy things once in a while and moving more. Okay. And when you do, just think how good you feel during and after your workout. Don't you just feel, oh, I feel so good, you're just, and it really does increase endorphins, which are your neurotransmitters, which are responsible for a better mood as well. You guys know, epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, all those. Okay. So now number 6, let's talk about that. So the sixth surprising benefit of doing resistance training is it's going to boost your immunity. Now, that is so important for today's day and age, because we are bombarded with all these viruses and variants and bacteria and fungus and mold. And there's, the population has increased, that we're transmitting these diseases from one person to the next. And we really need to do everything we can to boost or balance our immune system so that when we are exposed to these pathogens, our body knows how to defend itself. And one of the best ways to do that is resistance training. I'll share with you how that works, so that you understand how that works, but really it is one of the most powerful ways to boost your immune system. And the last surprising benefit of resistance training is better mobility. And I know this is really important for those that are like over 40, especially over 50, is we start to get kind of like our joints start to hurt, or we start to lose that mobility and we start to get pain, especially around the joint or in the joint. And then what that happens is our quality of life goes down, because if our mobility isn't as it was, then we're not apt to move as much, but then everything goes downhill and we're more apt to, gain weight and have less wellness. I will get more into that with the next slide, but really I just want to give you just the 7 surprising benefits of resistance training that maybe you never thought about. Okay, we always think about, oh, okay, bodybuilder, oh, lift weights and look like a bodybuilder. Well, no, that takes a long time to get to like that shape. And lots of like hours. Bodybuilders, they're like an hour twice a day to be like a bodybuilder that's on stage. Okay, I'm just talking about, building a better shape and to be able to then lose the fat and build and get toned. Okay, and anybody can do this. All right, it's only 30 minutes 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, you're not going to look like a bodybuilder. No, you need to do a lot more training to look like a bodybuilder. Okay, you're just going to have a nice shape. Okay, so let's talk about the first point that I talked about, easy fat loss. Well, it is easy fat loss because it's easy fat loss when you do resistance training, because you're toning the muscle to build the muscle to burn the fat. That's how you burn the fat. You don't really burn a lot of fat when you do your resistance training. It's kind of after that, because what happens is, remember, your metabolism goes up for the next like 24 hours, in fact, up to 48 hours for just the 30 minutes of resistance training. So that means that you will be able to burn more calories during the day and at rest. Like, you're resting and burning more calories, which means you're burning more fat at rest. Okay, just for 30 minutes of resistance training. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's not very much time for the benefit that you get after. And I do want to point out that I hear a lot of women say, I want to get tone, I want to get tone, I want to get tone. Okay, you can't get tone without adding muscle. You can't cardio your way to getting tone. You do resistance training to get toned. Okay, because really getting tone is building the muscle less the fat. That's what the tone is. Okay, so just remember that. Otherwise, yeah, you can cardio your way to weight loss, but you'll just be a skinny fat. You will be droopy and you'll look old. And I know that's not what you want. So we're going to do things a little bit differently. So hopefully I'm starting to convince you here. So number 2, we talked about muscle tone. So what does muscle tone do? Okay, if you build more muscle, you have more tone. What does it do? You have a beautiful shape. That's where the shape comes in, not the skinny fat, not the droopy. No, the shape comes in by getting tone, by building the muscle. It also builds the bone. Remember, if you're adding like resistance training and you're asking the body to lift something, your bones have to get stronger. Okay, they are an active tissue. And the tissue becomes more resilient to what we call stress that you're adding to it. It's just a short amount of stress to build more strength in the bones. This is how you reverse osteoporosis. This is how I reversed my osteoporosis, which was my accelerated aging disease, osteoporosis. Like, my bones were brittle. They are so strong now, only because I did change my diet, but also I got away from chronic cardio and I got into strength training only a little bit, 30 minutes, 2-3 times a week. It also, just think about your quality of life as you get older. As you get more, as you build more strength because of the muscle you have, and you build more bones because of the resistance training you're doing, just think of when you're carrying groceries and you start to get older. You're going to want to carry your own groceries. Okay. Don't you want to be independent? This will keep you from being dependent on others and being in those homes. Like, where's the quality of life there? It's not. So we have to think ahead. We're being proactive. In your 40s and 50s, like when you're 70 and 80, if you were to start now, wow, you'll be carrying those groceries like there's no tomorrow, and you'll be so proud of the work you did. Just 20, 30 minutes, 2, 3 times a week. That's it. That's all you have to do. And just think, when you're older, you're going to be so strong. And even like the first week, you're going to feel strong, but just think aging. Just think when you're a senior. Okay, you're not going to be weak and frail. You're going to be strong and proud. All right. And what happens if you fall? Like, if you fall and your bones are brittle, you will end up in the hospital. Okay, because you won't be able to move and they will have to treat you. But if we think ahead, no, actually, that's not where I want to be. I don't want to be like that. I want to be this. Okay, well, cardio is not going to get you there, or just walking every day. You need to actually send the signal to the body to build muscle. That will build the bone. So when you fall, you will actually likely have the coordination to maybe not, hurt yourself, but you will be able to get up because you have the strength. Okay. How many 70 and 80-year-olds do you see out there that look weak? We're not, this message has to get out there to start building muscle when we're younger, in your 50s or 40s or even 60s. I don't care. But by the time you're 70 and 80, you would have put in all that like compounding work to be able to then lift yourself up. So then you will feel proud, but also you'll have the confidence knowing that you're doing everything you can to have the quality of life when you're older. Okay. Because you're doing the right thing, not the wrong thing. Now let's talk about a little bit more about this energy thing. So what happens is when you are doing this resistance training, this is number 3, you will feel a vast increase in your energy, only because it's really about the mitochondria, but also the circulation. And what happens when you're older, circulation starts to get less fluid, and it's not as good as it was when you were younger. That's why you have cardiovascular issues when you're older and not when you're younger. That's why it takes you a while to warm up in the cold, right? Because the circulation isn't there. Or what else happens? Circulation. Well, the brain starts to, you lose your brain power. So if you think about it, when you're exercising, you're increasing all this circulation to all areas of your body. And what circulation does is actually shuttles nutrients. So remember, you can eat your food, you're eating food for the nutrition, but you're also moving it in areas all throughout the body to have well-rounded function as well. Okay, so that's the other benefit to resistance training, is increasing energy, which is increasing circulation, which is then moving the nutrition so that you have overall wellness. Brain performance. So a little bit more about brain performance. What it does is you have these highways in your brain called neurotropic factors. So we have these neurons that you have in your brain. Well, contrary to what we used to believe, we actually thought that you couldn't build more highways in your brain. We thought, oh, whatever you have, that's all you're going to have. Well, actually, that's not true. We can build more highways even as we age. And it's called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. You're going to make more highways in your brain. So you're going to bring that circulation into all areas of your brain so that you can, again, you will be able to remember things. You actually talk with confidence because you're going to remember the words so much better, and you won't forget your keys, which is really horrible because how much time is wasted trying to find your keys or where you parked your car. Like all these things your quality of life will really improve. And if you're looking to learn something new, okay, like you're starting a new project, or maybe you're getting into paddleboarding, or you're getting into, I don't know, what do we do when we age? We start doing like pickleball, or we start learning new skills like cooking, or I don't know, crocheting, who knows, things that you're learning now, you will be able to learn it quicker, faster if you start doing some resistance training. Okay, because again, you're building up these pathways in your brain. So the mood change, we're going to get a little bit more into that. What they found was, okay, this is really cool. With resistance training, when you start to get into resistance training, they have found that just doing resistance training is as effective as some medicines in lowering mild to moderate forms of depression. So they found that. They did the studies, and instead of taking the medicine, these participants actually started exercising, and they found that it decreased their depression. In fact, some of them, it just reversed it altogether. And that was really exciting, because what happens is if you're depressed and you don't exercise, there's an area in your brain called the hippocampus, and it's responsible for how your emotional well-being is. Well, if you are depressed and you're not exercising, that area shrinks. It gets smaller. And so what happens then is you get more depressed because you don't have the ability to create the wellness that you had when you were older, because when you were younger, because that one organ is shrinking. Okay. And so what we want to do is we can reverse this. It is reversible. And that just starts with starting your resistance training. Okay. And the other thing about the brain and resistance training is it gets rid of this monkey brain, where your brain's all over the place and it can't really focus for very long. Or like, oh, there's a squirrel. Oh, there's a squirrel. You've heard of those. Well, actually, when you start doing resistance training, it forces you to learn the skill of being mindful. Because if you're not mindful, you're going to hurt yourself doing resistance training, possibly, because you need to get the right body mechanics. So you're actually training the brain to the area that you're working, and that translates to the rest of the day as well. So when you start doing other activities, you've already learned, you're learning that skill of being more mindful. You're going to be mindful of in other activities throughout the day, which actually can also help with relationships, because you're more mindful with these relationships. You're present. Because so many of us, and I have to say that's where I was, is I'm all over the place. I'm thinking about the past or the future, but I'm not really in the present. And after, when you look back, did you really enjoy your day, or was it just worrying and fear, right? So if you practice being more present, okay, and again, resistance training really helps you do that, then you'll find that your days are going to be so much more enjoyable, because the present is in the present. And so you're enjoying the moments, because that's all you really have at the time. So think about that. When we talk about immunity, there are just getting a little bit more like what is the mechanism of action? You've heard this before. Like, how does that work with your immunity when you do resistance training? How does that translate to better immunity? Well, it actually activates these cells called myocytes. They are signaling proteins in the immune system that get activated for you to balance your immune system. And that's only through resistance training. Okay, so it is a science, this is clinically backed up. The other thing is, when you are doing resistance training, you actually, you're able to handle your blood sugar. It becomes more stabilized. You become more insulin sensitive, which means insulin gets released anytime you eat carbs. Well, you're going to be more sensitive to that, which means that when you do eat your carbs, they won't be stored as fat. You'll actually be able to shuttle them into energy instead of fat, because of the resistance training that you've done, because you're becoming more insulin sensitive. If you're the opposite of that, which is insulin resistance, that leads to diabetes type 2 and type 1. And so many people actually are struggling with that. And all they really need to do is start doing some resistance training, because when they do, everything starts to work after that. Okay, their diet starts to clear up. They don't gain the weight. And they start to see positive changes. So then that's going to, translate into a better health all the way around, and immunity. And the other thing is, when you do resistance training and you're more fit, you will heal faster than those that aren't. So if you, again, you hurt yourself when you're older, you will heal faster than someone who hasn't resistance trained. So you're protecting yourself that way too, for when you do, injure yourself, you're going to heal a lot faster. So that's pretty cool. Okay, the last one is better mobility. So that's the last benefit. So there are some facts on this one. There's 3 key facts. The first one is most pain that individuals experience are likely from previous poor movement patterns. And so when we recognize that, or lack of movement, so when we recognize that and we start to get into resistance training, we're going to want to make sure that we are doing the resistance training properly with the proper body mechanics. Because when you do, you're re-engineering the whole body for proper movement patterns so that you increase your mobility, which means when you do that, you're going to want to enjoy your exercise more. And then you will actually practice anti-aging, because as we get older, mobility starts to suffer, but we can start to do proactive things now to support our mobility. In fact, if you have joint pain now and you start to get into resistance training, you're going to bring the circulation in the area, and that will heal so much faster. Okay. Now, remember, if you're not moving, if you don't use it, you lose it. So you want to stay consistent. So when I talk about resistance training and I talk about 20 or 30 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week, pick something that you will do and keep your word to yourself and stay consistent. Because if you don't use it, you will lose it. And so again, just start. Okay. And just do a little more than you did before and stay that way until it becomes a habit. And here I've got a quote: sitting is the new smoking. So I wrote this slide a little while ago, and at that time they were talking about how sitting is the new smoking. So the way I look at that is I like giving kind of parameters. So if you, if you are somebody who works at a desk, maybe think about getting a standing desk. If you're somebody who, sits a lot in the day, maybe just add an hour of standing up doing something like that you didn't before. So just add a little bit more mobility, more movement to what you're doing now, just a little bit. And remember to keep that. One of the golden rules is sitting for 2 hours a day. So you want to get to the level where you're only sitting 2 hours a day. And so when you're sitting, that's typically the time that you're having either your breakfast or your lunch or your dinner. Outside of that, you have a standing desk. You're active in your garage, moving around, you're doing a walk, you're exercising, you're going grocery shopping, you're doing your errands, those kind of things. So sitting would be either eating or maybe in your car for a short amount of time. But outside of that, think about trying to be more upright. Okay, everything will work out so much better. You're actually going to burn more calories when you're standing up, and your energy will increase too. Because how does it feel if you sit for too long? I know for me, my energy goes down and I feel kind of lazy. But if I'm standing up, whether it be at a desk or just moving around, my energy is up and I feel so much better. Now, I'm just going to give you a bit of a recap for those 7 surprising benefits of resistance training. The first one is it's the fastest, easiest way to fat loss and keeping the fat off for life. Second thing is you will tone the muscle, but you're doing that because you're building muscle. Okay. And you will feel, it will feel like instead of droopy, it's going to feel, more solid, more just kind of solid. So it's not drooping. All right. You're going to increase your energy, which again, who doesn't want more energy? Well, resistance training will help you vastly increase your energy in so many ways. Brain performance, so you'll be able to learn more things quicker, faster, and age more gracefully. Positive mood, the quality of life goes so much greater if you have a better mood, because people can sense that actually your mood you're in, and you're going to want to be more adventurous likely in your life as well, and that leads to more fun. Boosting your immunity. This is the best thing you can do in the winter months also, is to get that immunity balanced so that whatever comes your way, whatever variant, your body has the ability to handle it because you're being proactive. And then better mobility, which means if you have better mobility, you have less pain, you will age more gracefully, and your quality of life goes up. So we talked about that. Now, if you've been watching this and you like what you see, I do want to share that that is one part, the resistance training is one part out of the weekly workout plan. Because really, we talked about resistance training 2 or 3 times a week. What are you doing the other times? Well, what I've done is for my personal clients is I actually did a weekly workout plan where we put in the resistance training, but you're doing other things on other days. Because when you do, then you're actually, not only are you building the muscle on the resistance training, but on the other days, you're focusing on other parts that will give you a well-rounded wellness plan. And that is, you know, the cardio comes in from walking or hiking, or even like a bit of cardio outside of the resistance training on different days. All right. That's going to activate different parts of the body. But you're not neglecting resistance training. You're just adding in a different form of exercise that can, you know, activate different parts of the body for a well-rounded workout. We're also going to want to think about doing some kind of like longer yoga or stretching or mobility work on other days. So what I've done is I actually did a complete weekly workout plan that covers all your bases. Today, I just spoke about resistance training because it is the most important part, but really there are other parts to your weekly workouts so that you are well-rounded in your workouts. And again, this is step number 6 out of my 9-step clear path to slim, strong, and sexy. And this path is actually designed to lose up to 5 to 20 pounds within just 12 weeks, because it is very structured. It is very step by step, and it will get you results within 12 weeks. Okay, without wasting any more time, really. You won't be wasting time doing the wrong exercise. You won't be starting, stopping, or you won't give up, because it's 12 weeks. It's one step at a time. It's only 9 steps, and it is perfectly designed to burn the fat, build the muscle. You will get into that healthy weight that you've been wanting, and you will live confidently because you'll be slimmer, you'll be stronger, and you will definitely feel more sexier, okay? Because you're going to feel well. So if this sounds like something you want to dive deeper into, I do have a program, and it's called the Slim, Strong, and Sexy program, and it's 12 weeks. So if this interests you at all and you want more information on it, just book a 30-minute strategy call with me. And in just 30 minutes, I will actually 15 minutes, I can pinpoint exactly what's holding you back and get you unstuck so you can start to get your results. Now, this strategy call is only for those women who want to, who are seeking help. Okay, you're looking for a coach, or you're looking for someone to guide you so that you stop doing what's not working and start doing what is working. And this is also for those that aren't looking for the next shiny object, who want to actually fix the foundation to then be able to keep this healthy body for life, instead of grabbing the next shiny object, which is a supplement or a medication or whatever, like the next best superfood. No, this is a complete plan. So everything starts to work if you build that foundation, because this is how you stay healthy for life. Is you build the foundation first. And when you build it, you're burning the fat, building the muscle, looking and feeling 10 years younger, but you got to build that foundation. Also, it's for those women that can spend about an hour a week with me. That's it. So an hour a week, you'll know exactly what to do and when, and you will never be stuck because you've got me for 12 weeks. So if this interests you, please send me a direct message saying I'm ready, and we can set up the strategy call, and I can help you get unstuck so that you can move forward in your life and live confidently, slim, strong, and sexy. I hope today has really helped you, and I'm happy to answer any questions or comments from today. So big day for me. I moved. Our family moved into our long-term rental house that we're going to have for about a year. It's in the jungle. It's a block from the beach. So it's a whole new area for me to, now I can start to focus really on, spending more time with building out these programs so that adding more nuances. So I do want to share that it's a big step for me too. I've got my foundation set here, and now I can move forward helping with what I'm here to do. Okay, so again, reach out to me if you need my help, and if not, make sure you tune in for next Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday with Michelle at 12 PST, and I'll be going through I'll have to check to see what I'll be talking about, but it's likely about the mindset or the detox, but I can post next session in the events, and just, keep tuning in, and we'll see you next time.